Well, my friends, welcome back to Spot On with Link Lauren. This mini Friday edition of the show we're calling the Friday Spot. But on this Friday Spot, we have to talk about something we've all experienced, which is Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, okay? People who hate Trump so much that it becomes their entire personality. I've lost friends, I've lost family to TDS. You probably have as well. You probably had to cut people out of your life. My thing is, though, you don't have to love the president. There are presidents I haven't loved before, but I don't make it my entire personality, right? I don't make it my entire posting on social media. I can go have dinner with friends and be a human being. But for some of these folks, their entire personality is that they hate President Trump. Well, President Trump the other day, and Secretary Kennedy, they held a press conference where they spoke about some of this research that has been around online for years, that Tylenol, acetaminophen might not be good for you to take while you're pregnant. It potentially could lead to autism. It could lead to these other issues, right? Here's my thing. Let's say you don't even believe in the science. Let's say you don't believe in that. You don't want to take it seriously. These women on TikTok are downing bottles of Tylenol to prove a point just to spite President Trump. So now you could get liver damage and you'll look like a clown and you're going to be, memorialized on the internet forever. All because you hate President Trump and have Trump derangement syndrome? It's okay. Look, if President Trump is wrong, let's say you don't believe the Tylenol of it all, you don't believe the acetaminophen of it all. Do you not have anything else going on in your life? You don't have anything else going on in your life. You're so unfulfilled and devoid of purpose. You have to go out there and do these ridiculous videos. Liberal women, are you okay? Knock, knock, liberal women, are y'all good? Are y'all okay? But there are even some memes going around, right? There's some ridiculous memes of liberal women in Tylenol. They're going around on the internet. They honestly were making me laugh. Making me laugh. I never thought we'd be doing this Tylenol situation, but I really think this is the new hill for these liberal women to die on. They're like, you're not going to take our Tylenol from us. But something President Trump is a genius at doing is getting the left to defend these ridiculous positions, right? He says he wants to secure the border and have safe immigration policies. What does the left do? They go and protest to keep the border open. They protest to keep criminals on the street. Policies that are so unpopular, but he gets them to go defend these totally unpopular policies. And we've seen celebrities too. We've seen celebrities who have just totally gone away because of Trump derangement syndrome. There's no coming back for them, like Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell, to me, is TDS patient zero, okay? She is the starter pack of Trump derangement syndrome, okay? She was like the frontier of Trump derangement syndrome, the early settler at the TDS plantation. That is Rosie O'Donnell. Okay, that is Rosie O'Donnell. She has totally just erased her career, any legacy she had as a somewhat successful actress and host because of her Trump derangement syndrome. She gets online and spews ridiculous, insane conspiracy theories, and she has really nothing going on in her life. I mean, she moved to Ireland and she spends all day on TikTok talking about President Trump and how much she hates him. But I also want to talk about some of these posts that have been going around of people who support President Trump, and Riley Gaines is one of them. So Riley Gaines, she's pregnant right now. She's a young, famous woman. You might know her from her fights over getting men out of women's sports. Riley Gaines is a legend in that space. Here's some of the things she had to say, and I couldn't agree more with what she said. How selfish do you have to be to even potentially harm your own child in an attempt to make a political point? Downing medication, regardless of what it is, to spite someone, no matter who it is legitimately insane. Here's the last one. Imagine hating Trump more than you love your own child. I think she summed it up so perfectly, because these people, if you don't want to listen to Trump, let's say they don't believe it, you're still going to harm your child potentially. You're still going to look like a clown on the internet because you hate one man. I think you guys have daddy issues. I think a lot of these women who have Trump derangement syndrome and issues with the president, just at their core, who can't function because President Trump exists, I think there's some underlying daddy issues here. I think they have issues with men. I think they're maybe alone, maybe a man wronged them, maybe daddy walked out. And that's why they hate President Trump. And I actually did a video on this. So I did a video on TikTok that got a lot of attention discussing this Tylenol situation. We're gonna play that for you. And then I want you guys to have an amazing weekend. And I also want you to drop some comments. Tell me what you think about Trump derangement syndrome. What do you think about this Tylenol situation? What are we gonna do with these white, college-educated liberal women who push these insane things out over the internet? I really think these white, college-educated liberal women who watch MSNBC are a threat to democracy. I want to use their own term. They say threat to democracy. What are those women doing to help further Western civilization? But here's my video, and after that, have an amazing weekend. We will see you guys back on Monday. Y'all know I have to come on here every once in a while to ask, liberal women, are you guys okay? Are y'all all right? Because I've seen about 100 videos today of liberal women downing bottles of Tylenol, all because President Trump said, don't take Tylenol. If he said oxygen was good for you, are y'all gonna go hold your breath? These women on TikTok are downing bottles of Tylenol like Kamala Harris downs a box of wine, okay? These women, there might not be any coming back from them. We've seen the data. We have seen the data that white, liberal women report having higher mental health issues than anybody else. I honestly think these college-educated white liberal women who sit at home watching MSNBC are a threat to Western civilization. When Donald Trump came down the escalator in 2015, these women's brains snapped. They are still at the Javits Center the night Hillary Clinton lost. In their minds, they are still there mourning the loss of Hillary Clinton. They're still mourning the loss of Kamala Harris last fall. And here's my thing, I might get canceled for saying this, but all of these liberal women at home on TikTok with Trump derangement syndrome, my prescription for them, you guys need to touch grass and get laid. I'm here to tell you, if you go out and have a one-night stand, if you just get pounded and thrown around the bedroom, you might have that release. You might be able to just release and exhale and become a human being again. I mean, look at Taylor Swift. She was this feminist icon who was all about her cats and endorsing Kamala and dating these little scrawny cigarette-smoking guys. Now she's dating a big alpha football player with some hair on his chest. He's probably tossing her around the sack, and now she wants to get married. She's engaged. She wants the American dream. It's a miracle how that works. And here's the thing. President Trump isn't saying he's a medical expert, but we should be allowed to have these conversations in an open forum that people have had in private for decades. We have the sickest people on earth here in the United States, and we're supposed to be the most prosperous nation. We're supposed to be the most prosperous nation. We are doing a disservice to our children by not discussing every viable option to make them healthy. And you folks on the left, you had no problem taking life advice and health advice from a man in a dress, okay? You listen to Rachel Levine every single day go out and tell you about health. You folks can't even define what a woman is. So I don't know how your public health officials, when you don't know basic biology, XX chromosome, XY chromosome, it's very basic. And what's interesting about these liberal women on TikTok talking about pregnancy health, most of them aren't even pregnant. It's all performative. A man hasn't come near them with a 10-foot pole in a long time, okay? They are going to sleep alone. So I don't know why they're so concerned about women's health when they're pregnant. The last thing I'll say is this. My audience is about 85% women. Shout out to the moms, the grandmas, the great-grandmas. Shout out to the folks who are at home alone. But the ones who are at home alone with common sense, okay? I am thinking of you. These women on the left, you guys are deranged. There's a reason you're at home watching MSNBC with your cats and you don't have a man. And if you do have a man, he's probably some little beta male who you let pick your fruit out. But other than that, there's not a lot of testosterone there. All right, I love you guys. Thanks for liking and following. I will see you on the next one. Bye. I don't know about you, but after I travel, my skin is dry. That's when Peak's Radiant Skin Duo came to the rescue. This doctor-recommended duo, trusted by experts like Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Jason Fung, and Dr. Will Cole, supports whole body wellness from the inside out. Sun Goddess Matcha provides steady, calm energy throughout the day, packed with L-theanine for focus and EGCG antioxidants. It supports skin clarity and gut health. BT Fountain electrolytes hydrate like nothing else and help lock moisture in, making skin look amazing. And Peak ensures all ingredients are free from heavy metals, pesticides, and mold. If you need more hydration, then give Peak a try. Get 20% off plus a free frother and glass beaker here. peaklife.com/link. Again, that's peaklife.com/link.